Hi, welcome to Prenatal Yoga. My name is Lauren and I'll be guiding you today. If you'd like, you can grab a blanket, 2 blocks, and a bolster just in case you need them. Props are always optional and a great way to help support you in this class. We're going to go ahead and come into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you today. Maybe one leg crossed in front of the other, maybe your legs are long. You could sit on a bolster, a blanket, or even a block, maybe a blanket covering a block so it's not as rigid. Just pick what works for you. Give yourself a moment to find that comfortable position. Allow yourself to arrive here, grounding down through your sits bones, sitting up long through the spine, extending through the crown of the head, maybe resting your hands in your lap, maybe hands on the heart. Arriving here, noticing your breath and what's happening in your body. Just a few reminders. This class is designed to support you where you are today. We will move gently and focus on stability, breath, and comfort. I will offer options throughout, so take what works for you and leave the rest. There should be no pushing and no forcing today. Remember to listen to your body. Maybe your gaze is soft or your eyes are closed here. We're just continuing to notice what's happening in the body. Maybe the heartbeat, maybe the depth of the breath, the length of the breath. Find a deep inhale here through your nose. Big exhale, let it go. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale. One more time. Breathe in and out. Taking a moment to notice how you feel after just a few deep breaths. Checking in. Noticing the beautiful life that's growing inside your belly, in your womb. Noticing your breath and your heart rate. Feeling maybe the breath and the heartbeat and the baby inside of you, placing your hand on your belly. Making that connection. Today's intention, or sankalpa, is to stay connected to your body, to your breath, and to the life that is growing inside of you. So if you start to feel lost or your mind wanders, come back here, right here. Maybe a hand on the heart, hand on the belly, or whatever feels grounding and gives you that connected feeling. And maybe it's not a feeling of connection, right? Maybe it's, man, I'm feeling really disconnected. Can you take a moment to pause, soften the gaze and close the eyes, and place the hands on the heart center or the belly, and just notice. There is no rush. Give yourself that time to check in. Maybe saying your intention silently to yourself. Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected to my body, to my breath, and to my baby. Keeping the hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Take a deep inhale here. feeling a gentle expansion. Exhale, let everything soften. Inhale, expanding. Exhaling, softening. Continue this breath, just noticing how you feel. Keeping the breath slow and natural, no forcing, just steady and calm. Staying connected through the breath. If your mind starts to wander, that's normal. Just come back to the breath. Make that a practice. And notice what happens to your mind, where your mind goes when your mind wanders. Is it going to to-do lists? Is it finding stress? Is it just wandering, unsure of what it needs or wants? Maybe you catch yourself wandering. Do you judge yourself? Are you hard on yourself? Can you turn that around and just, instead of being hard on yourself and judging yourself, can you just practice coming back to the breath? That's the mental part of our practice, right? There's many limbs to yoga. The asana, the physical part, the movement, the poses are just one piece. So if you ever find yourself feeling like you need to do more, remember, less is more. Everything is connected. Your body is connected to your mind. So we have to work on the mind too. Maybe you feel good right here with your breath. Maybe you'd like to deepen your breath only if that feels comfortable to you today. Maybe inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. Remember, this is an option. You can inhale for 4, maybe exhale for 6. Continuing whatever breath pattern feels good in your body today. Staying connected. Allowing your breath to ground you and guide you. Notice how this feels in the body. Can you stay connected? And if your mind wanders, can you practice coming back? Gently releasing the hands. Maybe starting to flutter the eyes open, only if you're ready. We'll do some seated neck stretches here. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest and just gently begin to rock the chin across the chest. These movements can be very small, or maybe gradually they get a little bit bigger. Notice any sensation down the neck, into the upper traps, maybe the shoulders. Maybe one ear comes all the way over to the same side shoulder, stretching the opposite side of the neck. Maybe your chin presses forward and up a little, getting into the front of the body, around the clavicle. Scalenes can get kind of tight. So maybe that option feels good. Or maybe you tuck your chin in more, looking down at your thigh, getting more so into the back body, upper traps and shoulder. Maybe taking a few deep breaths here, pausing and noticing, letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. Maybe sweeping the chin across the chest, coming back to center, and then maybe going to the opposite side, noticing if this side feels different or the same. Notice if you're holding tension, can you release it? Maybe choosing to press the chin forward and up, front body, or pull it in, looking down at your thigh, back body, either one, maybe somewhere in between. Taking a few moments here to breathe and notice. Maybe continuing, rocking the chin across the chest, moving from side to side, noticing the breath, staying connected to it, even though we're beginning to move. Or maybe you're holding and breathing, just noticing anything that comes up here. Maybe drawing crescents or little smileys with your nose. Rocking side to side. Trying that big smile or crescent moon shape. Maybe a banana. Whatever you want to visualize or draw here with your nose. Maybe those shapes turn into circular shapes. Maybe a full moon with the nose. Maybe it's a round rattle or a little ball. Maybe it's your belly. Staying connected. Just noticing. If you do choose circles, make sure you're going slow, taking your time, noticing all the sensations, whether you're circling or smiling with those crescent shapes. Taking your time, keeping those shoulders soft, softening the jaw, maybe circling the jaw a few times with an open mouth, letting that release. Maybe switching the direction of your circles. If you're going clockwise, try counterclockwise, or vice versa. Maybe you're already switching, going each way. A few more breaths here. Bringing your chin back to your chest, gently rise through the gaze, lifting the head, and begin to roll your shoulders out here. So you can keep your hands in your lap or your hands can come up, whatever feels best. Maybe inhaling those shoulders up and exhaling, gliding them back down. Or just make sure you're breathing. Your arms might want to get into the mix, the elbows, maybe one at a time, shrugging one side, then the other. Maybe we change the direction, shrugging forward and down, maybe same time, maybe one at a time. Whatever feels good here. A few more rounds. And then we're going to do some seated hip circles. So if you're on a bolster, maybe come off and come onto a folded blanket instead. And then we're going to be seated here. So your legs can be crossed or one in front of the other. Your legs could even be long for this if you like. Maybe it feels better to bring the soles of the feet together, but typically one leg in front of the other seems to work best. So just do what feels right in your body today. We'll sit up nice and tall. Notice again how it feels to be still, maybe closing the eyes for just a moment, keeping the gaze soft. Coming back to stillness after movement, maybe noticing sensations through the neck and shoulders. Coming back to your breath, checking in with baby. And start to lean to the right, continue to reach through the crown. Then you're going to lean forward over the legs, lean left, and come back to center. So you're just drawing little circles with your hips here, maybe with the crown, depends on how you look at it, right? And just continue this for a few rounds, noticing how it feels in the body. So you're stretching through the back body, the hips, the glutes. Maybe you feel this in your hip creases. Yep, good. We're going to go 3 more times. And then we're going to change directions. So you're going to go over to the right, then back, and left, front, right, back, left. Finding your rhythm here. Making space for baby, maybe not leaning as far forward if that doesn't feel good. Maybe this side feels different than the first side. That's normal and that's okay. A couple more here. All right, let's come back to center and then lean back on your hands. Let those legs unwind, finding bent knees, and we're going to take some windshield wipers here. Now, if you've got blocks or bolster, you're welcome to set that behind you. Maybe rest on that so that you're a little more comfy, making more space for baby here. Rocking the knees side to side. The knees do not have to come all the way down to the mat. Just do what feels right. Feet can be whatever distance apart they want to be. Just a few windshield wipers, releasing those hip circles, gently opening the hips here, hip flexors, glutes, low back, and the low belly here. Coming back to center, we'll come to our seat. You're going to place the right hand down. Maybe you use your block friend here. And then your left arm is going to reach up. Maybe you stay right here, rolling your chest open. Maybe it feels better to come down to the forearm, taking a deeper bend. Maybe reaching a little farther over the head. And on your inhale, lift up. Exhale, other side. Same thing, left hand down. Maybe use the block. Maybe forearm down. Roll the chest open, maybe reaching over the head. And then you can do these at your own pace, maybe flowing from side to side, maybe holding, maybe with the blocks, maybe not. Just do what feels right in your body, continuing to connect to your breath and your baby. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it, right? Maybe you just need to slow down. Maybe you need to breathe and hold. Maybe you need to not do it. And that's perfectly fine. That's what listening to your body looks like, right? Honor your body, honor your baby. Give yourself grace during this time. Maybe one more on each side if that feels right. Releasing, coming back to center, moving your blocks out of the way. And then you're going to come to your hands and knees for a tabletop position. So start to make your way there, bringing the wrists under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Take an inhale here, dropping the belly, opening the sits bones, looking up for cow pose. On your exhale, you're going to round, hanging the head, tucking the tail, cat pose. So just continue that at your own pace, following your breath. Maybe noticing if you start to hold your breath. Notice the length of your breath. A few more here. Maybe adding on some tail wags. Maybe pretend you're in a barrel, scraping the sides of the barrel with your rib cage, getting a little deeper into it. Just whatever feels right now. Coming back to center. If you ever need a rest, you can sit back, take a moment, maybe sit on a block or that bolster you've got. You can roll out your wrists, shake your hands out. Remember, do what you need to do. No judgment, no expectations, just you and your body here. So coming back to our tabletop position, we're going to step the left foot back and the right hand forward. We're going to keep our toes and fingers down on the ground. You're breathing here. You're reaching through your heel and your fingers. Little bird dog here, supported bird dog. Let's try the other side. So right foot comes back, left hand forward. Toes and fingers stay on the mat. You're reaching through your heel and your fingers. Good. One more on each side. Same thing here, maybe a little more challenge, maybe lifting the hand and the foot or one or the other. Breathing and holding, releasing. One more, toes and fingers down, or maybe you lift up, your choice. Breathe and release. We're going to come into a puppy pose, so make sure your knees are stacked under your hips. You're welcome to use your bolster under your rib cage today, or your chest, or you can use a block, even a couple of blankets rolled or stacked. So you'll walk your hands forward and then let your forearms come down to the mat. Rest your chest on the bolster. Relax your head. Take some deep breaths here. Let your heart melt towards the mat. Feel some space here in your back body. Sending the breath anywhere that needs more space. Maybe into the belly. Continuing to breathe here and just notice. Now you can do this without the props if you'd like. So it's going to look exactly the same, only your forehead will be on the mat instead. It just depends on what you need. If you feel like you need more space, then use the props to support you. Maybe you've already got enough space and room for baby, and you like the feeling of the forehead on the mat. That's fine too. 3 more deep breaths here. Slowly coming out, back to tabletop, grabbing your blocks. We're going to come into a supported low lunge. So you're going to keep your blocks at whatever height you need. Remember, you can adjust them. And we're going to bring the right foot forward. Now, if you need to elevate up and then bring the right foot forward, you can do that with the use of the blocks. Or maybe from tabletop, hands on blocks, step it forward. Doesn't matter, either way, however you want to get there. So maybe highest level blocks, maybe medium, totally up to you. And then you can gently start to sink into your hips, maybe using a blanket for your back knee, a little bit of cushion, and then just go as far as it feels good today. So you want to engage your left glute, protecting that left knee. That'll help stabilize you as well. If you need to back off, walk those blocks a little bit closer, and maybe it's a more elevated low lunge, right? Do what works for you. It doesn't have to be super low, super deep. Pick the one that works for you today. Breathing here for a few moments, making space and room in the body so that when the time comes to bring that beautiful baby into this world, your body will be ready. Your body knows what to do, right? So breathe into that, connect to that, noticing sensations here. Beginning to switch sides. You're going to bring your left leg forward, starting to find the depth that feels good on this side, engaging your right glute, helping to stabilize you, adjusting the blocks if you need to. Breathing here. Seeing if you can open the chest and extend through the crown of the head, softening the jaw, just coming back to your breath. A few more breaths here. Maybe noticing if this side feels the same or different. Releasing when you're ready. Back to center, tabletop. Maybe using the blocks to help you come up to stand. Taking your time. All right, let's move the blocks out of the way here. And we're going to find a warrior two. So your right leg is going to be in front. Your left foot is going to be in back. You're going to have perpendicular feet here. So you're going to line up your right heel with your left arch. Bend into that front knee, stacking it over the ankle. Arms reach front and back. Reach through the crown. Ground down through your feet. Warrior two. Strong legs here. So we're working on strength and stability today, right? It's not just flexibility. We are finding strength in our bodies today. If your arms ever need a rest, bring them to your heart. They can rest on your hips. Maybe they just need to dangle. That's okay too. Listen to your body, right? Continuing to connect. Breathing here. Focusing on feeling steady in your legs. Bringing the hands to the heart, straightening the front leg, turning the right toes in, left toes point back. Now we're going to warrior two to the back of the mat. So left knee bends, open up those arms, press down through the pinky toe side of the back foot. Breathe. Does this side feel the same? Does it feel different? Are you steady and supported? Can you connect to your breath? Couple more rounds here, rounds of breath. Beginning to release the arms, turning the left toes forward and the right toes forward. Heels out, toes in. Take a big inhale, reaching up, extending. And then exhale, fold forward, wide-legged forward fold. So you're relaxing your head and your neck, maybe grabbing onto your blocks here, hanging on for support, taking some deep breaths, making lots of room for baby here. If you need to move your hands more forward. So you can adjust the blocks however you like. You can even place a bolster under your hands or under your head. Just take some deep breaths here, noticing what's happening in the body. Any sensations in your belly, around baby, maybe the head and neck, maybe the feet and the legs. Continuing to notice your breath. Remember, the blocks are here to support you. You can use them at any time. We're going to come up halfway, maybe pressing down into the blocks, finding a nice flat back. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, lower yourself down one more time. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe shaking out the head. Yes and no. Pressing down through the hands, maybe into the blocks, coming up halfway. Begin to toe heel your feet in a little closer. Maybe bring your hands to your hips or press into the blocks so you can lift up all the way to stand. All right, let's try tree pose. So we're going to do some balancing. So ground down through your right foot, find all four corners, engage your right leg, and start to bend your left knee, bringing a little kickstand into your feet. So your heel is resting on your ankle, somewhere close by. You can stay right here. Maybe hands on the hips, maybe cactus arms, maybe arms reach up, maybe hands at the heart. Maybe if you're feeling like you're ready, you can slide the foot up, taking a challenge here. Remember, balancing is optional, just like all of the poses and offerings today. Do what feels right in this moment. No need to push it. It's okay to keep the foot down. Maybe finding a focal point on the floor or the wall, something that's not moving for you to be able to stare at. Finding your gaze, your drishti, helping you balance. Couple more breaths here. If you fall out, it's okay. Put your foot down, right? No big deal. Maybe switching out the arms. Let's try the other side. Reset. Maybe wiggle the legs a little bit. And then start to ground down through the left foot, engaging the left leg, bending the right knee. Maybe hands stay on the hips or at the heart. Maybe you keep your kickstand. Maybe you bring that foot up to the inner calf. Take what works for you. Maybe this side is different. Maybe it's the same. Can you balance? Can you try to balance, right? We're learning new things about our bodies during this time. So things might be different, and that's normal, right? It is different. Connect to your breath. Connect to your body. Connect to the baby growing inside of you. Releasing here, maybe shaking out those legs, taking a big inhale, reaching up. And a big exhale to release, coming down into a forward fold, maybe grabbing your blocks for support. We'll inhale to come up halfway. On the exhale, come down to one knee and then the other knee. And we'll prepare for child's pose. So if you've got a bolster today, I highly encourage you to use it. Maybe taking more of a restorative child's pose. If not, that's okay. We can bring the big toes to touch, knees as wide as you like, and then you're going to snuggle that bolster inside the knees, inside the thighs. Begin to lengthen out over the bolster, resting the belly and the chest on the bolster. Maybe there's no space for the bolster, right? With baby, that's okay. You can take this bolster or a block and just rest your forehead on it. And now you've got more room and more space. Whatever works for you. Find a comfortable position. You don't have to use the bolster either, right? You can just rest your forehead on the mat. Maybe your hands are on the bolster. Whatever you want to do, we've got lots of options. Make it work for you. Child's pose, balasana, maybe connecting to your inner child and the child that's growing inside of you. Taking some deep breaths. Maybe thinking of a time when you were a child and you felt supported, loved, connected, and sending that feeling of love and support to your own baby, the child inside of you. And if you never felt that as a child, maybe imagining what it would have felt like and sending that to your baby. Knowing that you can still support and love your baby. And you can still support and love yourself. A few more breaths here. Maybe feel your glutes drawing back and down towards your heels. Feel the back body opening up. Stretching through inner thighs, hips, glutes, knees, shins, ankles, and the tops of the feet. Slowly beginning to press yourself out of your balasana child's pose. Coming into your seat. And then we're going to come all the way down to the back. So you've got an option here. You can take your bolster and maybe one block and give yourself a nice little incline to lay on. And the block can be at whatever height you like. It can be low, it can be medium. Maybe you want it to be high. Then you can just lay down, stretching the legs long, arms out to the sides, close in, maybe palms up. Maybe you'd like to lay on your side with a blanket or a bolster between the knees, or maybe a blanket or the bolster under your head for a little pillow. You get to pick whichever one feels right. Just do that. Doesn't matter what you pick as long as it works for you, right? So go ahead and take some time to find what that looks like for you. settling in, beginning to soften the gaze or close the eyes, noticing the rise and fall of your breath. Taking these last few minutes for you, for relaxation. This should be effortless. Allow yourself to just relax, breathing in and out, maybe finding deeper calming breaths if that suits you. Allowing yourself to rest here just as you are. Taking this time for you to connect and reflect. Keeping your gaze soft or your eyes closed. I invite you to stay here as long as you'd like, as long as you're able, resting, relaxing, and connecting. Or maybe you're ready to start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe rolling out the wrists and the ankles, just kind of finding little wiggles, gentle movement into the body. Maybe you're ready to press up into an easy seat, keeping the gaze soft, the eyes closed. Taking your time to find your seat. Grounding down through your sits bones, extending through the spine and the crown of the head, softening the shoulders, the jaw. Maybe placing the hand on the heart and the other hand on the belly. Noticing, connecting, supporting, and loving. Find some gratitude for your body, for creating and growing this beautiful life, for supporting you during this time, supporting you and your baby. Thank yourself for taking some time for you today. Time to connect, reflect, maybe relax. Take a few breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to come back to this practice whenever you need it. Thank you so much.